Soft snow on a rusted gate, cold breath where a name once stayed. There's a boy under all this weight, and a man who learned to hide the pain. I remember the boy I used to be, too fast for the chair, too loud for the room. Running on sparks, restless and wild, like maybe if I moved enough I could outrun the gloom. But my mouth and my mind never worked the same. Thoughts hit a wall before the words came through. I could make sounds but not say myself, like my own voice got buried before it grew. No real friends that were really mine, most came through my brother then faded away. So even as a kid I learned a hard thing early, how alone can start before you know its name. At 7 they gave me a choice, go away, get help, start over somewhere new. And I said yes, like only a child can, not knowing what one small answer can do. My dad stayed close when the world split wide, trailing near the home just to stay by my side. That kind of love keeps a kid alive, even when the rest of him starts to divide. The boy out still lives under the winter skin, under the shutdown, the silence, the walls I live in. He didn't die, he got buried alive under years of surviving and keeping it tight. Now the man I am looks cold from the outside in, but that's just what it costs to keep the damage dim. Too much pain turned to distance, too much fear turned to control. So I built frost around my chest, just to keep hold of my soul. 6 years trying to teach my tongue how to line sound up with thought. Speech therapy, little repairs, trying to fix what my head had not. I was still outgoing, still hyper, then still all motion, still all fire. Then somewhere around 14, 15, something in me turned and cut the wire. Not all at once, not some big collapse, just slow enough to feel it staying there. Depression moved in and anxiety stayed low, self-worth hanging thick in the air. So I started building inward, room by room inside my head. A castle made of silence and pressure, with halls where the living part of me went dead. And people think cold is a choice you make, like I woke up one day and chose this face. They don't see a mind that learned too young how to lock whole storms away. The boy I was still lives under the winter skin, under the shutdown, the silence, the walls I live in. He didn't die, he got buried alive under years of surviving and keeping it tight. Now the man I am looks cold from the outside in, but that's just what it costs to keep the damage dim. Too much pain turned to distance, too much fear turned to control. So I built frost around my chest, just to keep hold of my soul. I lived with my dad from 2003, and he was never just some passing name. He was home in the middle of everything broken, one of the few things that stayed the same. Then the last 5 years were slow death, and I carried that house alone. Watched him fade day after day, till every room felt carved from stone. There's a kind of grief that starts before the end, when you lose them piece by piece in plain sight. So when he died in 2023, it wasn't the start, it was the last long night. I stood there and watched the line go still, then kept going like the world expects. Back to work, back to breathing, with a cracked up spine and a frozen chest. Now I filter everything, what gets in, what gets cut loose. Not because I feel nothing, because feeling all of it would light the fuse. I can push whole days into the background, stack noise underneath my skin, hear two worlds at once and still keep moving like none of it ever got in. That's why praise falls flat on me, why warmth can feel like a foreign song, why silence looks bitter from the outside when it's really just survival. Of an empty castle, the guard and the prisoner too. Safe behind the walls I built, but trapped in everything they grew. The boy I was still lives under the winter skin, under the armor, the grief, the years I've been living in. He still breathes somewhere deep below, under the ice where the old wounds go. And the man I became is what's left after the hits sink in. Still walking, still working, still dragging the winter in. Too much life came too early, too much loss stayed too long. So I learned to live like a storm held still, and call that being strong. The boy I was still burns under all this white, a last small ember I protect by shutting out the light. And the man that broke still gets up, still survives, still carries on. But deep below the winter skin, the boy still asks what went wrong. I remember the boy I used to be, before the walls, before the freeze. He didn't vanish, he got buried, and I've been digging toward him ever since.